Greetings and happy International Women's Day. This year's theme is Women in the Changing World of Work, Planet 50/50 by 2030. We are working towards substantive equality by 2030. Currently, some 770 million people live in extreme poverty, the majority of them women. Most of them are out of work or in low-paying jobs. To get to the future with substantive equality, we will have to shift the current paradigm for women and girls. Because right now, 76% of the world's men are earning salaries, compared with only under 50% of women. Women in the informal sector, who make up the majority of the working poor, need an enabling macroeconomic context. Further, women must not be confined to traditionally feminine careers and low-paying or non-paying jobs. They must be exposed to a broad range of careers at all levels, from public sector to private sector, modern agriculture, and be ready for the climate-smart economies of the future. They must be prepared for jobs in the digital industries, where currently women are just 1/4 of the workforce. Achieving these changes will take macroeconomic policies that recognize the potential of women to drive inclusive economic growth. This includes creative steps like investing in social infrastructure, such as pipe water and clean energy. Social infrastructure is key to freeing girls and women from the care responsibilities. Ensuring increased participation in the economy includes supporting men's uptake of employment benefits like paternity and parental leave, as well as expanded maternity leave for working women, including their re-entry into the workforce. These are policy choices that public and private sector employers have to make. This is what Goal 5 of the Sustainable Development Goals is about. This is the goal on gender equality. In addition, the right education with relevant skills for the future is fundamental so that more girls can enter and finish schools. More girls must have qualifications in STEM subjects and experience in analytic thinking that lead to higher education and better paying jobs. Currently, only 18% of undergraduate computer science degrees are held by women. To make these changes also means we have to overturn stereotype about what women and girls can do and can't do. And it means paying women the same salaries as men for work of equal value. Currently, on average, women earn 23% less than men. Sustainable changes also mean changing stereotypes that confine men outside the home. A change in the world of work must be about creating opportunities for women to be full economic citizens.
Women's Day as we mark the first anniversary of Let Girls Learn. And today we want to celebrate all of the wonderful progress we've made and the momentum we're seeing around girls' education across the globe. But before we get started, I just wanted to briefly express my sadness over the passing of former First Lady Nancy Reagan. Mrs. Reagan was a woman of incredible strength and grace, and she was a passionate advocate for so many important issues. Through the example she set both during her time in the White House and beyond, Mrs. Reagan reminded us of the importance of women's leadership at every level of our society. And on a personal note, Mrs. Reagan also understood the value of mentoring. She warmly and willingly offered advice and encouragement to me as I settled into my role as First Lady. And I am so grateful for her kindness and generosity to me and my family over the years. And I hope that our continued work to educate.
You can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You could beat the world, you could beat the world. You could talk to God, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can be the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You can be a master, don't wait for love. Dedicate yourself and you can find yourself.
And the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you run with the brightest flame. And the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame.
You could go the distance, you could run the mile. You could walk straight through hell with a smile.
You could be the hero, you could get the gold. Breaking all the records you thought.
That our continued work to educate girls worldwide is a fitting tribute to her legacy. So back to the business at hand, I have to start by thanking Ambassador Power, another strong woman leader, as you heard, for that wonderful, kind, generous introduction, but more importantly, for her extraordinary work to promote human dignity, human rights across the globe. We are lucky to have someone like her in this administration, and the President and I are very lucky to have her as a friend. I also want to recognize our outstanding ambassador for global women's issues, Kathy Russell, and her entire team at the State Department for hosting this event and for their tremendous work on girls' education and so many other critical issues. I'm thankful to have them as partners in this effort. But most of all, I want to thank all of you for your tremendous leadership on behalf of girls around the world. Some of you have been with us since the day we launched Let Girls Learn. Some of you have been working on girls' education for decades. And some of you are students who will be leading the way on this issue in years to come. And I'm so proud that you all are here. Give yourselves a round of applause. Our young people. And I know that each of us here today has a story, like Samantha shared, about how we first got engaged in this issue. The moment our heart first broke, or we felt that first flare of outrage when we realized that 62 million girls worldwide, girls who are just as smart and hardworking as we are, aren't getting the opportunities that we sometimes take for granted. For me, it was the drumbeat of horrifying stories. Malala Yousafzai, shot in the head by terrorists just for speaking the simple truth that girls should go to school. More than 200 Nigerian girls kidnapped from their school dormitory by a terrorist group determined to keep them from getting an education. Grown men trying to snuff out the aspirations of young girls. Little girls being brutally assaulted on their way to school.
Hello and welcome. welcome to another episode of your Human Service News and Information. I'm Hasson, Rashid, your host, and I'll be here with you for approximately 25 more minutes. Okay, with that, I welcome you once again to another episode of your Human Service News and Information. It's excellent being here with you, and it's such a great achievement to come into your lives like we do here at CCTV daily. Okay, and with that, I give you another official greeting, and that is peace be unto you. Okay, I guess you figured it out. You see all the women talk at the opening of the broadcast, the program, and it's International Women's Day, and I thought it would be appropriate to play some, share some videos with you concerning the celebration of International Women's Day, and I think it's also National Women's Week too here in the United States. But with that, okay, I extend a happy Women's Day to all of you ladies and females out there. So enjoy yourself, and we do have a little bit more in the way of information to share with you about some events, Women Day events in our area that's happening, okay, today. But first, I'd like to bring up some things here that's still happening here at CCTV. Okay, board elections. Okay, let's get back to, remember that we talked about board elections several weeks ago? Well, you still have time to nominate someone. You know, if you feel that you'd like to have someone on the board here, board of directors here at CCTV, you still have time to nominate someone. Okay, so the timetable once again for board of directors elections is March 24th is deadline for the board nominations forms at CCTV by 5 p.m. Nomination forms are available on the back. Okay, nomination forms. Okay, I think you got to. I guess you can find the forms on the CCTV's website, and that website address is info@cctvcambridge.org, or you can call someone here and inquire about nomination forms. You still have until March 24th to get those forms in and nominate someone to sit up on represent you here at CCTV. That's okay. For additional information, you can call 617-661-6900. That's 617-661-6900, and inquire about nomination forms and other things pertaining to the Board of Directors elections here at CCTV. Okay, on March 27, information on nominees will be made available to members and I guess also the public. Okay, April 28th is the annual meeting here at CCTV. Board nominations will present themselves to the membership for consideration, and a vote will be held. Okay, so you got 3 dates to watch: March 24th, March 27th, and April 28th. So you can still get those forms in, nomination forms in, by March 24th. So I just want to remind you that you still have time to select someone of your choice to serve here at CCTV on the board of directors. Okay, so CCTV is also still seeking candidates for the board of directors. So if you'd like additional information about that, once again, you can call 617-661-6900. Okay, other things happening here at CCTV is tomorrow night, that's Thursday the 19th from 6 to 9 p.m., there is a copyright and open source course that's being offered here at CCTV, presented by the CCTV Media Training Program. And I understand that this course is absolutely free. There's no price for it. You can just walk in and come on and join the rest of the class. Okay, the instructor is Brad Glandon. The price is free, so if you'd like to sign up in advance, you still have time to sign up. You can call 617-661-6900. We're here at 438 Massachusetts Avenue, right in the heart of Central Square. So if you'd like to additional information, you can also call, access our website, and it is CCTV cambridge.org/learn. That's, once again, it's the copyright open source course, and it's absolutely free to come on and learn all you can about copyright. Okay, so that's I'm gonna leave it right there. There's so much more that's happening at CCTV. I tell you, if you'd like to know more about what's going on here, you can come and pick up the CCTV's newsletter. It's entitled Open Studio, so it's always available. You come right in, 438 Massachusetts Avenue, walk in and request a copy of Open Studio. That's a CCTV's newsletter, and everything that's happening for the rest of March is in this newsletter. So I advise you to come on in and get it and learn about what's going on for I guess for spring now. We're just about wrapping up winter, the last week or two of winter. Okay, so late winter, that's what we're in now. I like to show you this is Spirit Change. You know, this is a newspaper for vendors, people who are supplement their income by selling. Homeless people supplement their income by selling this paper. And I guess you're wondering about who's that handsome gentleman on the cover of this edition of Spirit Change. Well, that's Tito Jackson. It's City Councilman Tito Jackson over in Boston. And he's also running for mayor of Boston this year. So that's, don't forget now, pick up your copy of Spirit Change News, okay? Okay, it's International Women's Day, and I'd like to wish all the women out there, females, girls, etc., a happy Women's Day, okay? Happy Women's Day, okay? I had some information to share with you about the events that going on in our region that relates to Women's Day. But first, I'm gonna go back to the videos that I set up for you, and there's another video I want to share with you about Women's Day. And I'm not gonna do too much talking today. I'm gonna share with you these videos. Let me see if I can find this video for you. Just be patient, tolerate me for a little bit longer, and we'll have this information on to share with you. Here we go. Alrighty, okay. International Women's Day.
If I see that white folks are concerned, then people of color need to be terrified. And what we're seeing right now, particularly in the women's march, is that there are a lot of white women and white people who are saying what is happening with our country is very dangerous. And we know that the most marginalized communities will, in fact, be impacted first. So on March 8th, on International Women's Day, women across the world are being asked to stay home, no paid labor or unpaid labor, because we do a lot of things that we're not paid for, and to specifically refrain from purchasing products and items from big box stores, from corporations, and try to support small businesses and local businesses. And lastly, we're asking folks to wear the color red. So even if you have to go to work, you can wear red in solidarity. And still, even if you have to go to work, pack your lunch. Figure out ways not to spend money unless you are supporting, again, a small business. Protest in itself is not enough, which is why we step to the next level of asking people to sacrifice, being a part of a strike. All of these things work together. You can't do one thing and expect that the walls will come tumbling down. It's going to take multiple levels of action, activism, and resistance in order to ensure that some level of democracy is preserved in this country.
So if you know anything about some of the activities going on around here about the Women's Day, I advise you or invite you to go out and get involved, participate, and support the women of this country, not only this country, but the Women International. This is their day. So go out and congratulate them, help them, etc., to make this a day of that they won't forget. Okay, talking about women, the women of color are having what is known as a Women of Color Leadership and Empowerment Conference, and this is going to be held in June, around June 15th at Harvard University. So the Women of Color, I don't know if this is the national group or the regional chapter of the Women of Color, but they're going to hold their Leadership Empowerment Conference at Harvard, June 15th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Harvard University is hosting this event. So that's okay. That's a local chapter of the Women of Color. They're located at 4 Copley Place, Suite 145, Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, so you get set for that. I just want you to just get prepared if you're gonna attend this event. That's June 15th. You still have plenty of time to go out and get to this event. And you'll be hearing more about it in the weeks to come right here at Human Service News and Information. Okay, I got another event that's happening. It's the New England Organization for Human Services, acronym NEOH, N-E-O-H-S, in collaboration with Fitchburg State College. They're having their annual conference, and this is on April 28th, 2017. And the theme of the conference is Human Service Professionals Looking Towards the Future. That's at the Hammond Building, Fitchburg State University, 160 Pearl Street, Fitchburg, Mass. And that's April 28th. So if you'd like additional information on how you can register for this conference, Human Service Conference, you can go to the website to register for the conference. You can register online at neoss.wildapricot.org or send let me see, I don't have a no, it's a hotel, but I don't have a telephone number, but to register, once again, you can go to the website. That's neofhs.wildapricot.org to register for, that's the annual New England Organizations for Human Services, and they're in collaboration with the Fitchburg State University this year, and that's their conference. Okay, you should be hearing more about that here at CCTV. Okay, and another thing is coming up, the Mass Union of Public Housing Tenants. They're having a 2017 annual spring convention. It's a Hotel 1620, formerly the Radisson Hotel, 180 Water Street, Plymouth, Massachusetts, and you'll be hearing more about that. This is going to take place from May 5th to May 7th, 2017. So there's more time to hear about that one. Okay, I'm going to just share with you some contact information if you'd like to register for this event. That's the Mass Union Public Housing Tenants 2017 Annual Spring Convention, okay, to be held in Plymouth, Mass. So you can call Mass Union Public Housing Tenants for additional information. And their telephone number is 617-825-9750. Or you can fax them at 617-822-0238. That's Mass Union Public Housing Tenants, 784 Washington Street. Apartment 504 Dorchester, Mass. Once again, telephone number 617-825-9750. Okay, that's the Mass Union of Public Housing Tenants Annual Spring Convention. Okay, another thing I'd like to tell you, it'll be Saturday, I think it's the 12th. Before you go to bed, I want you to set your clocks for it. The time is changing. Okay, so I think that's daylight savings is coming in. So we won't be on. The days will be getting longer. Okay, so that's that's March 12th. Okay, right before you go to bed. And okay, another thing I'd like to share some local information with you. If you're preparing your taxes, if you get free tax preparation by going over to 11 Inman Street, that's the CEOC, and they will help you get your tax returns, or your file your income taxes for this year, 2017. And also you go to the public library, that's 448 Broadway, and they're offering tax preparation help also. So you'll be hearing more about that, and I'm sure that before that date to file, okay? Before the filing date, you'll be hearing more about that. So we're gonna try to steer you straight, rather, so that you can get all your tax work done for absolutely free. Okay, there's one more thing I'd like to share with you before we leave you once again for another week. A conversation about racism and homelessness. So you can join the conversation, and it's at C4 Innovates. I guess that's a hashtag for Twitter. Okay, it's join the conversation. A conversation about racism and homelessness at Racism Homelessness. So at C4 Innovates. So, okay, that's all the information I got on that right now. But I promise you I will have additional information in the near future. Okay, it's just about time for us to be leaving you once again. So you don't always leave you. And